let's talk about something that's probably been on your mind: the economy. When the news is full of storm clouds gathering, it's so easy to feel anxious. But what if you could actually build a financial fortress to protect yourself? Well, today, we're handing you the blueprint. If you've been watching the news, words like downturn or recession, yeah, they're enough to make anyone feel a little uneasy. And that's a completely normal feeling when there's so much uncertainty in the air. But here's the really good news. You do not have to just sit there and watch it happen. You can absolutely take control. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to build your financial fortress, a structure designed to shield you from whatever the economy decides to throw your way.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why this is so important. Then we're going to lay down the 5 foundational stones for your fortress: mastering your money, building a real safety net, investing with a solid strategy, expanding your income, and finally, making sure your bank is actually working for you.
So why does all this matter so much? Well, because being prepared is the difference between just weathering a storm and being completely wrecked by it. Building up your financial defenses before you need them isn't just a good idea. It's honestly the only way to make sure a little economic tremor doesn't turn into a personal earthquake for you. All right, let's lay the first stone of our fortress. Step 1 is all about mastering your money. And we do that by creating and actually sticking to a budget. Now, this isn't about restriction, it's about control. Your budget is literally the blueprint for everything else we're going to build today. And look, it's a pretty straightforward process. First, you just track everything that comes in and everything that goes out. You can use an app, a simple spreadsheet, whatever works for you. Then, you start to categorize your spending into needs, the essentials, and wants, the optional stuff. This is brilliant because it shows you exactly where your money is going and helps you spot those easy cuts, like maybe subscriptions you forgot about or all those takeout orders. But the most crucial part, you have to review it every month to stay on track. Okay, with our budget as the blueprint, our second step is to build the walls of the fortress. And that's your safety net. This emergency fund is the single most important cushion you have against those unexpected financial shocks, like, a job loss or a sudden big expense. So what exactly do we mean by a healthy emergency fund? Well, the standard advice is to have 3 to 6 months worth of your essential living expenses saved up. We're talking about rent, utilities, groceries, the absolute must-pays. And hey, if you're the main breadwinner in your house, you should really be aiming for 6 months, maybe even more. And this money has to be liquid, which just means you can get to it easily. It's not tied up in long-term investments. Now, why is this so incredibly critical? Well, because a shocking number of people are living without this safety net. According to the Federal Reserve, this number right here is the percentage. 37%. A staggering 37% of American adults couldn't cover an unexpected $400 expense with cash. Just let that sink in for a second. This is exactly why a safety net isn't some nice-to-have luxury. It's an absolute essential. Without it, one small emergency can quickly spiral into a mountain of high-interest debt. I know, building a 6-month fund can sound overwhelming. But don't worry, you start small. Aim for a mini goal first, maybe $500 or $1,000, just to get some momentum going. And you want to keep it in a high-yield savings account so it's at least earning a little bit of interest. But the best trick in the book? Automate it. Set up a transfer that happens right on your payday so you're saving without even having to think about it. Okay, with our foundation and our safety net in place, let's talk about step 3, investing with a real strategy. During volatile times, it's not about stopping your investing, it's about being smart and protecting your assets. The key word here is diversify. A diversified portfolio basically spreads your money across different kinds of assets, things like stocks, bonds, and low-cost index funds, or ETFs, which are just baskets of different stocks. The idea is super simple. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That way, if one part of the market is down, another part might be stable or even up, which helps reduce your overall risk. What's really fascinating about this slide is the psychological advice. It can be absolutely terrifying to watch your account balance drop. I get it. But the source material is really clear on this. For your long-term investments, you have to resist that powerful urge to panic sell. Why? Because historically, markets always recover, and selling at the bottom just locks in your losses for good. All right, moving on to step 4. This is a really powerful piece of armor for your fortress: expanding your income. Relying on just one paycheck from one employer, well, that can be pretty risky in an uncertain economy. Creating multiple streams of income is how you build a powerful buffer against that. There are really two main ways to go about this. First, you've got active income. Think about turning a skill you already have into cash, maybe freelance writing, tutoring, or even picking up gig work like ride sharing. Then, on the other side, you have passive income. This is money you earn with a lot less active effort, like investing in stocks that pay dividends, which means they pay you just for owning them. A mix of both can give you some serious stability.
And now for our fifth and final step, and it's one that people often overlook: making sure your bank is actually helping you. Your financial institution should be a partner in building your fortress, not a drain on your resources with fees and bad rates.
So what should you be looking for? A few key things: minimal fees, high interest rates on your savings, helpful tools like automatic transfers, and this last one is non-negotiable: FDIC or NCUA insurance. That's the government guarantee that protects your money up to $250,000. If your bank isn't checking these boxes, it might be time to start shopping around.
So there you have it, the 5 core pillars of your financial fortress. First, you create a budget to take control of your money. Second, you build that crucial emergency fund as your safety net. Third, you invest with a diversified, long-term strategy. Fourth, you expand your income streams. And fifth, you make sure you have the right bank in your corner.
Look, a fortress isn't built in a day. It's built one single brick at a time. The most important thing you can do is just start. So the question for you is, what's the first brick you're going to lay for your fortress today?